The haunting beauty of dawn unfurls over the river Thames, painting the waters in soft hues of lavender and gold. The gentle lapping of the waves against the wooden pier whispers secrets of the night as Henry stirs awake in his modest flat. With practiced ease, he rises before the city breathes its first sigh, every action steeped in familiarity. The air is crisp, fragrant with the promise of a new day, and he slips into his weathered boots, feeling the weight of his fishing gear calling to him. Stepping onto the pier, Henry greets the Silver Lining, his beloved boat, now familiar with the creaks of their shared journeys. The river's embrace envelops him as he unties the boat, his heart sinking with the rhythmic pulse of the Thames. Here, beneath the looming specter of Tower Bridge, he feels at home, connected to the water and the stories it cradles, unaware that this day would change everything. Henry's heart beat in rhythm with the gentle flow of the Thames, a melody he had known for decades. Leaning against the weathered edge of his modest boat, the Silver Lining, he took a moment to appreciate the day's first light, painting the city in hues of soft gold. His hands, roughened by years of casting lines and mending nets, moved deftly as he prepared for the day ahead. He spoke softly to the water, recounting tales of past catches and lost lures, as if the river were an old friend. The whispers of the current recounted stories of those long gone, tales of sailors and lovers who once navigated the same waters. With each gentle sway of the boat, Henry felt the weight of history in his bones. The river had embraced him, and in return, he vowed to listen, to learn from its depths, as he always had. The early morning light began to spill over the horizon as the sun's first rays kissed the surface of the Thames. Henry, with careful precision, pushed off from the wooden pier, his small boat, the Silver Lining, gently rocking with the rhythm of the river. As he unfurled the sails, he inhaled the fresh, briny air, reminding him of countless mornings spent in harmony with the waters. With skilled hands, he cast his line for the first time, watching as the bait sank into the churning depths below. In this sacred ritual, he felt a connection to the river, an ancient embrace growing stronger with each flick of his wrist. The city began to awaken above him, but down here, in the quiet solitude of his boat, time seemed to slow, a tranquil bubble in the bustling world above. It was here, amidst the soft lapping of the waves, that the magic of the Thames whispered secrets waiting to be discovered. With a steady hand, Henry leaned over the edge of his boat, the Silver Lining, as he cast his first line into the gentle embrace of the Thames. The morning mist crawled slowly over the water, wrapping the world in a soft veil of mystery. As he settled back into his rhythm, the familiar peace enveloped him, the sounds of the city above fading into a distant hum. It was in this tranquil moment that he felt a tug on his net, a pull that surprised him, igniting a spark of excitement. As he reeled it in, he could hardly believe his eyes. Among the wriggling fish and tangled weeds lay an ornate locket, encrusted with barnacles and shimmering faintly in the early light. He grasped it gently, its weight a tantalizing promise of stories untold. Cleaning it carefully, Henry marveled at its intricate design, feeling an inexplicable connection to the past as its secrets began to whisper to him. Henry gently turned the locket in his weathered hands, mesmerized by its intricate design. With each rub of his thumb over the barnacles, he felt a curious connection pulling him closer to its past. When he carefully pried open the locket, a rush of anticipation filled him, for inside was the engraved name, Eliza, and a date that seemed to echo through time. He could almost hear the whispers of her life as he imagined her. The laughter, the heartaches, the dreams of freedom among the constraints of her Victorian world. What secrets had she carried in her heart, and what love had been lost to the depths of the Thames? As he sat on the edge of his boat, the gentle lapping of water against the hull grounded him, yet he couldn't shake the feeling that this was only the beginning. With the locket securely in his pocket, Henry knew he needed to learn more about the woman whose story had suddenly intertwined with his own. Eliza Spencer was a spirited young woman, living in the heart of Victorian London, her dreams as boundless as the sky. While the world around her was painted with strict social norms and expectations, Eliza longed for adventure beyond the cobblestone streets and restrictive walls of her family's home. With a heart full of passion, She would steal moments by the river, watching the boats glide by, dreaming of distant lands that seemed just beyond her reach. Her laughter echoed along the banks, intertwining with the whispers of the Thames, as she penned stories of romance and heroism in her journal. In her mind's eye, she imagined herself as a daring explorer, unhindered by societal constraints. Yet, growing melancholy settled within her as the weight of reality often overshadowed her dreams. Little did she know that her fate would soon intertwine with the depths of the river, where love and loss would carve a different narrative, one that Henry now sought to uncover. Eliza's sweetheart, Thomas, was a passionate young man with dreams as vast as the river itself. Their love blossomed beneath the sprawling London sky, where stolen kisses and whispered promises filled the air. But the Thames, with its shimmering waters and treacherous depths, held secrets of its own. One fateful evening, Thomas set out to meet Eliza, but as the sun dipped below the horizon, he never returned. Days turned into weeks, and despair wrapped its cold fingers around Eliza's heart. She wandered the banks, calling his name, hoping he would emerge from the shadows. Rumors spread of sailors lost to the currents, drowned in their pursuit of destiny. Each tale added weight to her sorrow, binding her to the river that had stolen away her joy. It was in this haunting absence that Eliza poured her hopes into the locket, the last tangible connection to a love that the tides had taken away, forever leaving her dreams adrift. As dawn brushed the sky with hues of pink and gold, Henry set out for the local historian's cottage, each stroke of his oars echoing with anticipation. The historian, a wiry man with spectacles perched on his nose, welcomed him in, his cluttered walls adorned with faded maps and sepia photographs. With great enthusiasm, he recounted Eliza's tale, painting vivid scenes of Victorian London, the bustling streets, the fashion of the day, and the romantic ideals that floated like shadows through the air. As he spoke of Eliza's sweetheart, lost to the depths of the Thames, Henry felt a chill ripple through him. The historian described the whispers of her spirit lingering beneath the Tower Bridge, seeking solace and connection with those left behind. The stories weren't just echoes of the past. They were threads woven into the very fabric of the river, imploring Henry to uncover and preserve the love that had once flourished amidst its currents. As Henry floated quietly beneath the towering arches of the bridge, his thoughts drifted like the soft ripples on the Thames. The river, which had cradled so many stories, seemed to whisper secrets only he could hear. Echoes of love, loss, and longing that lingered just beneath the surface. He imagined Eliza, yearning for her lost sweetheart, searching the waters that held their dreams while trapped in a world that constrained her spirit. In that moment, he felt a deep connection to the past, as if the gentle murmur of the river was a reminder that these ghosts of history were not merely memories, but threads woven into the fabric of life. The haunting tales of souls who had loved fiercely, yet been severed by fate, resonated within him, urging him to honor their legacies. Henry's heart swelled with a mixture of sorrow and admiration, knowing that beneath the bridge, stories awaited discovery and remembrance. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting golden hues across the Thames, Henry settled into a familiar rhythm on the water. The soft rocking of his boat soothed him, while the tranquil sounds of the river whispered stories long forgotten. With each cast of his line, he began to sense a shift, an intangible presence lingering just beyond the mist. His thoughts drifted to Eliza, the woman whose locket had sparked his curiosity. Painting her life in his mind, he imagined her laughter ringing through the streets of Victorian London, the thrill of her dreams cascading like the waters beneath him. What would it have been like to feel the river's embrace as she once did? A chill danced along his spine as he envisioned her, a ghostly figure fading in and out of the twilight. As shadows danced beneath the surface, Henry couldn't shake the feeling that Eliza was somehow guiding him, urging him to uncover the threads of their intertwined destinies. The full moon hovered in the sky, casting a silver glow upon the Thames, its shimmering waters a mirror for the night's ethereal beauty. Henry felt an irresistible pull towards the very spot where he had unearthed the locket, the air crackling with anticipation. As he rowed his small boat through the mist, memories of Eliza danced in his mind, her dreams of freedom, her fleeting laughter echoing through time. With every stroke of the oars, the weight of unspoken stories pressed upon him, urging him to connect with the soul behind the locket. He could almost hear her whispering through the breeze, inviting him back to the moment their fates had intertwined. As he reached the familiar spot, he prepared himself, holding the locket tightly. Tonight he would speak her name aloud, a tribute to a love story that was more than mere history. It was a living thread woven into the fabric of the Thames. As the days grew shorter and the full moon neared, Henry felt an undeniable pull toward the spot where he had found the locket. The atmosphere thickened, charged with anticipation, as he prepared for the moonlit visit. He gathered his old fishing gear, but this time his heart was heavy with purpose. Tonight wasn't just about fishing. It was about honoring a story that had long yearned to be heard. As darkness fell, he cast off from the pier, the silver lining gliding silently over the shimmering waters. The moonlight danced upon the Thames, turning it into a silver ribbon stretching towards infinity. Anchoring at the exact spot, he took a deep breath, his voice trembling slightly but resolutely clear. "Eliza," he began, sharing her tale into the night. He poured his heart into every word, hoping to bridge the chasm of time and awaken the spirit of the young woman whose fate had intertwined with his. The moon hung high in the sky, casting its silver light over the gently rippling Thames. As Henry whispered Eliza's name into the night, the stillness was broken by a soft stirring of waters. The surface shimmered as if responding to his call, and for a brief moment time seemed to suspend. Then, from the depths, a glimmering figure emerged, enveloped in ethereal light. It was Eliza, her visage almost translucent, yet there was an undeniable warmth in her gaze. "Henry," she seemed to say without words, her presence filling the air with a haunting melody of longing and hope. In that fleeting moment, their worlds converged. He beheld dreams unfulfilled and a love everlasting. An understanding sparked between them, a connection that transcended the veil of time. As quickly as she appeared, Eliza retreated into the depths, leaving Henry breathless and forever changed, compelled to carry her story forward.